Hi everyone, it's me, Jordan Long here, and today you wonder if Phryne Fisher, or as Phryne as some folks like to call her, have, forgiven PBS how they handled her show, or Acorn, or anything like that. Well, it was time for me, to talk with her herself and see what she thinks. Shit. Here we go. So, Jordan, darling, you're asking me what I think about PBS's time of my show. Love and hate. Because even though they liked my show, they hated it for the same grounds. They constantly bitched about the fighting going on, the shooting going on. They made big deals about every outfit, every clothing I wore in every saga. And then they started telling every cloud, well, we don't want you to be making any more tales from books. Start making up your own tales. And then they started getting skimmy on the love scenes. I kid you not. Season 1 they let it go. Season 2 they put some in, and by season 3 they skimmed it back to at least being 3. So no, I really haven't come to my time to forgive them for how they fucked up my show. And if you think Acorn was so good about it, they're the ones that fucked with my show even before PBS did. Well, what about the ABC? The Sutherland offshoot, the one that's older than the 4-1 Reichs offshoot. Yeah, they fucked with it too. Because they couldn't back it up anymore. They're like, oh, where's the gal at? They're like, oh, we don't know where the gal went. Yeah. Well, yeah. But I guess you can at least deal with it without getting angry and breaking shit. Oh, you know, darling, where my anger comes from, right? When you spent many years being harmed like I was, you know, then your flight or flight kicks in. And yeah, I broke shit. So you weren't going to be what they thought. And I mean, tell me if this is true, Phryne, or not. Isn't it true that PBS always loved to broadcast or stream the Dick Tracy film? The 1991. Oh yeah, darling, don't get me started with that one. That's what they did, Jordan, darling. It was a double standard. And their forgivenesses for why they didn't do anything to it was, oh well, it's from the 4-1 Reichs, huh? That's a double standard because they hated Dick Tracy as much as they hated me. And this leads me into thinking, Phryne, why would they even get the rights to your show if they knew what was in your show and what was in your books that they wouldn't be happy with? Because PBS is governed, they're gathering owned. And the lawmakers and the healers and the teachers, them, they're not going to spend time reading my books. They're not going to go and do any learning about my show. They're just going to put their freaking hand up in a board meeting and say, oh, say aye if you want to get that deal of every club for Phryne Fisher. Aye. And then they're going to freak out about everything. You know. And so where do you think those missing love scenes from all the tales of following 1, 2, and 3 went? Probably got cut, put in some lockup somewhere, ashamed of it, wouldn't even put it on disc. I know folks are thinking, oh, well, maybe they put it on the disc. No, they didn't put it on any of the discs though. Yeah, well, what would you do if you what would you do if you did get ownership to, well, the books and the show? Well, what I'd first do is I'd bring all those missing love scenes back, Jordan darling. Then I would start, then following four would be taking the rest of the books and making them into tales. That's what I would do. Well, who would you go with? I'd go with Stars and HBO. Because at the end of the day, they can handle that shit. Because all the other folk works out there and streaming websites wouldn't handle it. You know they wouldn't. Now, come on, USA would be a little open-minded, but they would freak out over the shit. And don't get me started with TNT because they are 10 times more skimmy about, they're 10 times more picky about shit than even PBS is. So yeah, they're off the list. And Netflix, at first they want to say they want edgy shit, but once you give them it, they run off. So it Stars in HBO. That's what it would be. Well, it is what it is. Hey, I just want to say, thank you for, talking with me. You're welcome, Jordan, darling. It's good to get all this stuff off of my chest. So how's your godmother Zena doing? She's doing great.